Let's talk about VAR. VAR needs to be binned. It's ruining football. It's inconsistent. It's disruptive. It takes the passion out of the game. Everything it was brought in to do has failed. Wait until the end to see the top 10 incidents of VAR where it's absolutely gone wrong. Also, I just want to give a brief explanation to people who may not be familiar with VAR and what it's been brought in to do, what its actual purpose is. It is basically a technology-driven system used in football to assist on-field referees in making crucial decisions during a match. Its primary purpose is to improve the accuracy of key decisions and ensure fairness in the game with three key principles: video review, communication, and decision making. But we know as football fans, it is, if anything, made it even more confusing, and people are starting to question it now. So why is VAR ruining football? So like most videos, I like to take a journey back to the start. So let's go back to when it first got introduced. VAR was first introduced in a professional football competition in 2016 in a FIFA Club World Cup in Japan. It was subsequently adopted in various leagues and competitions around the world, and the initial goal was to correct clear and obvious errors made by on-field referees. This includes decisions related to goals, penalty kicks, red card offences, and cases of mistaken, obviously offsides and things like that as well. Another objective was to ensure the significant incidents that referees might have missed during live play, such as handballs or offside interactions leading to goals, could be reviewed and corrected if necessary. VAR aimed to enhance the overall fairness and integrity of football matches by reducing contentious decisions that would influence the outcome of games. These initial goals were established to improve the accuracy of refereeing decisions while maintaining the flow and excitement of football matches. However, again, the implementation of VAR has been met with both praise and criticism, leading to ongoing discussions and adjustments in its application. Now, if we look at some of the most recent kind of awful decisions that have been made, obviously VAR is a very hot topic at the moment, and that was mainly because of the Liverpool and Spurs game. There were so many decisions in that where they just got it completely wrong. It was full of errors, and it was just from the first minute to the last minute, there was just many mistakes. And we'll start with the Curtis Jones red card, which you could see straight away. He was trying to control that ball with his foot. It was a 50-50 duel. And when you slow something down, you know, let's just talk about the actual challenge in itself. His foot does slightly go over the ball, right? So it's a little bit high in that regard. And I remember Casemiro being sent off for a similar thing last season. But it's the way he's gone for it. You know, if you just look at it in full time, look at the video, it's actually not that bad and probably shouldn't be a red card. It should be a yellow. But then when they slow it down, and when you have a certain angle, at a certain slow motion, these things can be manipulated and make them look 1,000 times worse. So when the referee has actually gone over to the screen and seen it, the first thing he sees is that angle and is the kind of the slow-mo of it. So you instantly think, oh yeah, that's a red card from that angle. But then when you show multiple, you kind of like, oh, well, maybe, yeah. You get given a kind of balance and overall view, but that is the first thing that is going to stick in his head. It's just psychology. The first thing you see, you'll probably go for. And the referee saw that and made, obviously, a sharp decision. Shortly after this, Luis Diaz scored, which would have been a huge goal for Liverpool. You go one man down, and you score a goal like that away at Tottenham. That's a massive goal, and could be a massive incident for the season ahead. You don't know. Then points could be absolutely vital to their top 5 success. You know, could challenge for the title. Whatever it is, that has huge implications, on that game. So the offside, the whistle was blown. Even from the first initial, just looking at it with a naked eye, without any, just the first replay, I remember being sat next to my girlfriend. I was like, that isn't offside. Not a chance that's offside. You could see the lines on the pitch where their defender was. Was it Van der Ven? I think sticking a leg out. Diaz was clear. It was onside. Comes up the VAR thing saying they're reviewing it. They don't draw any lines whatsoever. And the decision is made so quickly. And you're just like, right, that doesn't seem right at all. And apparently, more things that have come out after this as well is that obviously Sky are in bed with the officials and the VAR, metaphorically. Obviously not, I don't mean, one of the hosts is, I mean, just they are in bed with the officials because they were saying basically don't, well, we can guess that they were saying basically don't criticise it or don't try not to bring it up because they didn't even discuss it at half time. Apart from like the last 10 seconds, I think it was. So something's like, they obviously known straight away they fucked up. It took me seconds to realise. Honestly, seconds to realise that was not offside. So that's another huge moment in the match. Then we go to the Jota's double yellow card. The first one, the player completely falls over his own legs. He doesn't even touch it. But then he gets a yellow for it. And then the second one, I mean, it's probably is a yellow. But it's like, again, it's similar where it's not that much contact. The intention of the player was quite aggressive or quite harsh, if you will. But the contact is like, it's margins, absolute margins. So then they get another player sent off, which is hugely significant. And even still then, Tottenham wasn't winning. It was still, 1-1 or whatever it was. They was pushing for a goal and didn't get it until the very last minute. And this is me, by the way, defending Liverpool. I hate Liverpool. But when a game, you have to take away your hatred and tribalism as a fan when you see things happen like this. Because you could only think, if that was a United game, I would be equally outraged. I'd be writing letters to the PGMO, I'd be writing letters to officials, like I'd be going absolutely crazy. So I completely have sympathy, empathy, whatever it is, for Liverpool fans, absolutely. This is like a part of a catalogue since it's first been introduced. That's like, when you go over it the past couple of years, it's been horrendous since it's been brought in. And I understand you kind of get your old traditional fans who are saying like, just scrap it. I want to go back to the way it was. Maybe there was a couple of controversial decisions, but at least the excitement wasn't taken out of the game. But you've got pundits, fans, players now constantly questioning stupid decisions, and it's got to the breaking point now. So I've got a list of just 10, obviously there's many, many more, but 10 shocking decisions that have been made over the past kind of 5-6 years. United versus Brighton. Referee Stuart Atwell blew the full-time whistle, both sides thinking they had earned a point each. However, after reviewing a potential handball, Atwell awarded United a penalty, calling all 22 players back onto the pitch. I remember this game. And Bruno Fernandes stepped up and dispatched it, with the Red Devils claiming all 3 points. I think we all remember that game. Rodri's handball at Goodison Park. Lampard saying after the game that a 3-year-old could have seen this. Pickford's season-ending challenge. Again, Liverpool involved in it again. They've not had the best of times with VAR, have they? But Pickford's season-ending challenge on Virgil van Dijk during a hotly contested Merseyside derby. Liverpool and Van Dijk dealt a crucial blow when Everton goalkeeper Jordan Pickford clattered into the big Dutchman when dealing with the corner, leaving Van Dijk crumbled in a heap on the floor with cruciate ligament damage, and that would rule him out for the rest of the season. I think that was when they all wore t-shirts and stuff, weren't there? So we've got another one. Harry Kane, studs up challenge on Andy Roberts, another Liverpool player. I'm surprised there isn't people creating conspiracy channels at this point with Liverpool, because they have had a lot of decisions go against them. After a studs-up challenge on the left-back, Robertson, with the game ending with 2 goals each and Robertson subsequently being sent off, Tottenham star man came out after and claimed that he thought he'd won the ball. Alex McCarthy clatters Phil Foden. It was the referee's failure to act when Alex McCarthy brought Phil Foden down in the box following a heavy touch. Despite VAR checking the incident, it was cleared, with Man City missing out on an obvious penalty. Fabian Balbuena's red card. After clearing the ball, Balbuena clearly visually slipped with the turf giving way from underneath his planted foot. As such, the kicking leg collided with the oncoming Ben Chilwell, and the referee and those in the VAR room deemed an excessive use of force and a dangerous challenge. Arsenal versus Brentford, offside controversy. Title-chasing Arsenal go 1-0 up against Brentford through Trossard, I think it was. Ivan Toney equalised, and there was a failure to pick up the fact that Christian Norgard was in an offside position when receiving the ball. Lee Mason, who was in charge of the technology of the game in the VAR investigation, said it was he picked the wrong player in Ethan Pinnock, who was deemed onside, which subsequently saw the goal wrongfully awarded. Lee Mason was sacked from his position, and Arsenal would go on to lose 2 points. Liverpool at the wrong end again of VAR ruling at Old Trafford. During a game at Old Trafford in October 2019, unbeaten Liverpool went 1-0 down due to a shocking oversight by both referee and those at Stockley Park. A clear foul on Liverpool's Divock Origi saw United with back possession, get back possession and go at the other end and score through Marcus Rashford. Again, I remember this game, putting United a goal to the good. This one's bad. A Hawkeye controversy at Villa Park. While admittedly Hawkeye had been in operation before the inception of VAR, this is a decision that could have been overruled by VAR. That's the main thing here. In a game between Villa and Sheffield United at Villa Park, Sheffield United Ollie Norwood took a free kick that appeared to cross the goal line after hitting the underside of the crossbar and bouncing down. However, Villa goalkeeper Orion Nyland managed to bundle the ball clear, resulting in the goal not being awarded after closer inspection. The Hawkeye goal line technology system, which is supposed to automatically alert the referee when the ball crosses the line, failed to do so. And then we have the Tottenham and the Liverpool one, which is just the worst of the worst right now. That is probably the worst I've seen VAR in its time, and that's 10 incidents that I've mentioned there. There's many more, but when you have this in a space of 5 years or whatever it's been, it's pretty bad, isn't it? Like, this was brought in to brush out these errors, and if anything, it feels like we've got more at the moment. Even when you consider, right, the emotion for football fans, we have to talk about the emotion for people that are involved. You can have elation to frustration with VAR. It seems to have the power to transfer the ecstasy of a goal to kind of disappointment or frustration straight after it. And as a fan, you'll know we like to celebrate like crazy nutters, especially if it's a last-minute winner or something like that. And then all you hear is, VAR is checking the goal, and you're like, in the stadium, you're like, what the fuck's going on? It creates this kind of like uncertainty and anxiety, so fans don't know whether to celebrate or not. There's also kind of like a delayed gratification because a lot of the stadiums don't have a TV in there, so you don't know when these decisions are being made. You don't have a fucking clue what's going on. You don't know if someone's been fouled in the build-up, fouled in the box, if someone's offside, if someone's blocking the keeper. Like, you don't have a clue when you're in the stadium because you see everything live. So, obviously, other stadiums, like Tottenham's brand new spanking stadium, has a screen on there saying VAR, check a red card, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But United's don't. Loads of other stadiums don't. So, it's this uncertainty and anxiety. And even with players, they don't know when to celebrate a goal. They don't know what's happening in the build-up because they're obviously playing, they're completely focused on the game. So, there's an element to it where you're like, what do we do about that? How do we manage it? We have to think about away fans as well, who are travelling to these games and big decisions going against them. It's a big talking point at the moment. Now, the question is, how do we address these issues? Do we get rid of it entirely, or do we offer alternative solutions? This is obviously a job for professionals at the highest level of technology and people that are high up in football and PGMO and all these kind of guys. But if I was to throw my 2 pence in, I would suggest implementing a time limit for reviews or limiting the types of decisions that are being reviewed. I think screens, like I said, are definitely needed in every stadium so fans know exactly what are going on. Obviously, financial, that's a discussion that you have to have because when you start getting to League 2 and League 3 and these kind of things, some teams just can't simply afford it, and that's fine. But let's say United, for example. I'm not even saying it because I'm a fan, but Old Trafford should have a fucking TV in there when you're going on about VAR decisions. You know, they need to simplify certain rules like the offside and handball because people don't have a fucking clue what it is anymore. I mean, anyone who's watching this right now, if you can accurately describe the handball rule or the offside now, please do put it in the comment section. Please, I implore you to, please. And referees and officials, this is another big one, which I feel strongly on, should have to come out after games if they make a decision and speak about it, because players have to do it, managers have to do it. Why do you not have to do it? Why do referees not have to be accountable when they make a bad decision? They get covered and they get protected, and I don't think that's right at all. Now, the reason why I made this video is because I feel very strongly about what this system is doing to our game and why it should be changed for the better. We can't keep having games like the other day, the Spurs and Tottenham game, because it takes away all credibility. As much as it kills me to say, because it is Liverpool, the credibility of the game has completely gone. I don't believe we should completely scrap it, but it definitely needs huge adjustments and it needs simplifying. Otherwise, we are going to be getting apologies week in, week out at this rate, because it seems to have progressively got worse over the past couple of years. It seems to be more and more incidents, and maybe media like it. Maybe Sky Sports News and BT or whoever it is, TNT now in it, I think. Maybe they like it because it's something to talk about. It's controversial. You take that away, then what did they discuss? You go back to the old style where they're discussing moments like Frank Lampard when his goal went over the line against Germany. So I get it. That's why I don't want to completely remove it, because I do think it has a purpose and it should be here. But I also think the people that are operating it aren't the best, and maybe you need to bring some football people into there as well. Please let me know your thoughts on this topic at the moment. Should it be banished? Should we go back to how it was back in the olden days? What improvements would you make personally? Leave a comment and let me know. Please do consider subscribing to the channel if you like content like this. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.